I'm not gonna waste time tonight with pointless banter, some anecdote of something uninteresting. We're just gonna get right into it because we have a double feature tonight. I don't know the last time we did a double feature. Have we done a double feature in one episode before? We must have.
You think I listen to this podcast? I have no idea.
I feel like we had to have at least once.
I have to imagine that we did not do more than one for John Wick, right? We had four movies.
No, I haven't watched the fourth movie. We did the trilogy.
Or three. We did three movies before the fourth one.
I mean,
The Matrix, I think we did.
Okay. All right. So then, we've done it a little bit. Anyways, we got a great show for you tonight. Welcome, everyone, to the Pass the Controller podcast, a show where a couple of best friends talk about the latest in video games and nerd culture. Sometimes we have guests. Sometimes we talk about movies. And tonight is one of those nights. This is, of course, a PTC Movie Club episode. So if you haven't watched Clerks or Mallrats, this is a good time for you to pause this episode and come back at a later time because tonight is going to be all about Clerks and Mallrats and our beginning, or at least my beginning, with the View Askewniverse. So, before we get into that, as always, I'm your host, Brenden Groom, and joining me on this lovely Saturday evening is the anime senpai himself, Mr. Michael Desir. Mike, how are you tonight?
I'm not even supposed to be here today.
That's pretty good. That's pretty fucking good. That's pretty good. Also joining us tonight, of course, is the Fortnite father, Mr. Todd Gary. Todd, how are you doing over there?
Yo, I'm alive. I'm good.
Okay, all right. That's an answer too, I guess. And rounding us out, of course, is the Disney daddy himself, Mr. Dominic 40 Dom. How are you doing?
Oochie boochies.
I love it. I love it. We got a great show for you tonight. As I said, this is a PTC Movie Club episode, so if you haven't watched Clerks and Mallrats, this is a good time to bow out because we will be talking about both of those films in depth, or at least what our depth is on the films. So yeah, save yourself if you don't want to have stuff spoiled for you. We'll try to talk about them, Clerks first and then Mallrats, but I can't be held accountable if you're like, oh, I've watched Clerks, so I'll tune out when they switch to, Mallrats. I can't be held liable for that. I'll try to keep them separate, but who knows? Who knows what's going to happen here? Before we jump right into things, a couple of quick housekeeping things. This episode, of course, sponsored by our good friends at Goodnight Fatty. If you're in the Salem, Massachusetts area or the North Shore of Massachusetts on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday evening, you want yourself something hot, something sweet, something tasty, something fresh out of the oven, you can head on down to 1 Washington Square and get yourself a delicious fatty. And if you're unaware of what a fatty is, you can check them out on social media at Goodnight Fatty and educate yourself on these tasty, tasty treats. I think that's really it. I don't know. Go to the website. Subscribe to us wherever you listen to the show, whether it's Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all those places. Leave us a quick 5-star review. You can see everything we do at passthecontroller.io, which is our website. You want written content, you want drink recipes, you want other stuff. It's all there. If you are unaware, we do record the show live every week at twitch.tv/passcontroller. If you can't catch the live show, no sweat. Just go on over to YouTube, type in Pass the Controller Podcast, and we will pop up over there at some point because we put this over there. So, anyways, that's that. We'll just keep it tight, and keep it moving. The PTC Movie Club for July, I believe, is Todd. Is Todd next?
I am, yes.
Do you have a movie?
No, I'm not. I'm definitely. I think it's either Dom or Mike, right? Who's last?
I can pull it up in a second. Hold on. I have the master list in my email.
Yeah, wait, Todd picked last.
Yeah, Todd picked last. Todd did.
Oh, then I don't know what the order is then. I don't know why I thought Todd was next. What was the last movie we did?
Todd.
Green Room.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh. So can I say?
Oh, yeah, I get a double feature.
Todd, just do it again. Just pick another movie. I'm not going to stop you.
Do it again.
Just pick Green Room again.
I'll pick Blue Ruin. Okay.
So, a little, well, not really inside baseball. Just, I guess my behind the scenes, my life. I won't say people's real names, but I was getting coffee like last week or maybe 2 weeks ago, and someone that doesn't, I don't think they listen to the show regularly or really at all because they're not really into video games, but they know that we do the show. And at some point we must have talked about that we do a movie episode, usually once a month. So they had seen that it was Green Room and they liked that movie. So they were like, oh, I'll check it out because you talk about a movie I know. And the beginning of that episode, I must say, like, this movie fucking sucks. Like, I just went off. And,
Yeah, you were
and-
like,
yeah,
like,
and he was just
You came in hot.
he was like, I was excited to hear your thoughts on it, and then that was like the first thing out of your mouth, and I was like, yeah, I mean, they like it, so you keep listening, but I did not. I just thought it was really funny. I laughed pretty hard. Anyways. But there's a chance they might listen to this episode, so if you do, probably a better conversation tonight, at least for me. Let's see.
Spoilers.
It gives a little hint at Brendan's thoughts on the movies, apparently.
Maybe
Well,
could quite be.
Or that he doesn't just flat out hate the film.
Yeah, it's not gonna be anyways.
Because there's
fuck Kevin
a lot
Smith.
of there's a lot of in between. I absolutely fucking hate this movie, and I'm not talking about it. And this is my favorite movie ever.
Yeah. I don't know. It's gonna hit that. We'll get there. We'll get there. July is Mike, so I don't know. I'm assuming Mike does not have a movie on his hip.
I didn't even know it was my turn.
Okay,
So,
well.
no.
For a refresher, the order is Todd, me, Mike, Dom. So you are July.
All right. All right. We'll do the new Independence Day movie.
Well, I'm
I'm kidding. Don't let that down.
I'm just saying. I'm just throwing this out there. The next film is something about Mary, right? Or sorry,
Chasing
Chasing
Amy?
Amy.
Chasing Amy.
It's like,
Yeah.
I was like, what the heck?
I was
Hell,
testing all of you. I was
What
testing
universe are you watching?
That's the Ben Stiller universe, right?
It was Ben Stiller.
The Chasing Amy is like the next, like, quote unquote sequential movie,
Yes,
I
followed
so.
by Dogma.
Correct.
I'm just saying, Mike, not trying to force the hand, but August
You
would
could pick
be
those two movies, and no one would be able to watch Dogma.
Dogma's 25th anniversary is August, so just throwing that out there. If you want to get,
There's still no way to watch Dogma right now. I mean,
like, you can't even buy it on anything. It's like not available for purchase. Well, we can see it August 1st in New Hampshire, so just saying. Anyways, all right. Well, if you end up coming up with a movie in your pocket, Mike, I know you got a list of things you want to watch. So if there's something on there that's speaking to you, feel free to toss that out either now or the end of the episode.
It's not happening now.
Okay. All right. Listen, just reach in that pocket, jingle around a little bit, see what we got. See what you got in there. Okay. Anyways,
Wait, I know you could do. Mike, you can pick. I think it's called Jersey Girl. I think
you
that
could
might be
pick
next.
Jersey Girl.
Big Jersey Girl.
is that a Kevin Smith movie?
Yes.
It is.
Is it not?
I'll-
Why?
I've
Why
never
is there
seen it.
giggly? There's gigglies around this. What's going on here?
That was like the downfall of like the Askew universe. Like when that movie came out, it was like, oh god, like what is this? Like this isn't Kevin Smith, like it was more like his like try, and it was when like J-Lo and Ben Affleck were together, like
The
way
first
back.
time.
Yeah.
Mm.
So it was like I don't know. It's just I never saw it, but I don't
Or
even know
maybe I could just
who's
pick,
in it. I don't even know if there's like cameos in it or anything.
I mean,
Yeah, I don't know if it's technically part of the Viewers universe. I think it's
Stephen
just
Root's in it,
like-
and Jason Lee's in it. Wait, Will Smith's in it too? What the fuck?
I do want to quickly catch up on chat because Jade in the chat is got some just dialogue here that I should read. Have a free and this has been happening as we've been talking. Have a free flowing conversation. Fuck 'em. Watch the movies or get spoiled on literally 30-year-old movies. I haven't watched it. Fuck me too. I don't give a fuck. Wow, spoilers for Brendan's thoughts. Can you please pause until I'm caught up? It's a good thing you guys only have 3 full months between picks to decide what your next one is. Fucking shots fired, boys.
what are you talking about? You didn't have your movie pick ready at the jump either.
No, I did. I just forgot to say it for like 2 weeks.
Even better.
Internet's full of ways to watch things. Also true. Anyways, so we're going to talk about Clerks and then Mallrats. So last chance, dip out if this is not what you're here for at the moment or haven't watched those films yet. As we do with these episodes, we should begin with, unless you already looked it up, you can excuse yourself, but what do we think Clerks has on our friends over at Roddy Tommy's Tomato Meter and Popcorn Meter? Mike, how you feeling?
I feel like this is good, but is it 90s good or is it like 80s good?
Well, it is 94, if that helps you. That was a joke. It was very funny.
Yeah, no, I understood what you were doing. I didn't care for it. let's say critic. You know what? I got nothing
No
at stake.
points, Mike. No points.
I know there's no points. Let's say 88, 90.
88, 90. Okay. Todd, what you feeling? Clerks. October
I'm gonna
19th,
say
1994. Rated R.
Do I
Black and
want to
white.
say 90? I'll
Comedy.
say 91, 82.
91, 82. Dom, take us home on Clerks.
92, 85.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Well, somehow, Mike.
Somehow it got 60s across the board.
Mike is. Oh man, Mike, you should have switched your numbers. Mike is the closest. Oh, actually, no, not Todd is the closest on Tomato Meter. It is a 90. Todd's at 91, and it is an 89 popcorn. That means it's a split between. Oh wait, no, Todd's at 82, so Mike gets that. Again, not for points, but pretty well regarded by critics and fans alike. It seems people enjoyed this film. With a budget, and again, if you know this answer or know a roundabout, don't be a dick. With a budget of around $27,000. With I did some reading, a post-production budget of like $250,000, I believe.
That makes sense.
You had to add those songs in.
Part of it was the music licensing, correct? Where do we know or think this landed
Some of them
worldwide
felt
box
very
office?
unnecessary.
It was the 90s. This is how we did things.
So 27,000 initial budget, extra 250 on top. Mike, what do you think? It says worldwide here, but it actually didn't have an international release, at least not according to Box Office Mojo. I don't know if it did at another point or something, but
I forget with these things. Does it
does it include
count
anniversaries?
Yeah, and things like that.
I don't.
I feel like it's a movie that initially.
This is original
it did
release.
Well.
This is original
Okay.
release. There is a tab for me to do 2024 re-release.
Okay, then.
But that's not helpful according to what it's showing me here when I click on that. So let's just stick to original release.
Let's say 10 million.
Okay, Mike's gonna drop a 10 milli. Todd, what do you think?
Let's say 8 milli.
Okay, an 8 milli. Tom, what do you think?
I was gonna say 10, so I'm gonna say 12.
Okay. Well, you're all pretty wrong. Todd is the closest because he's the lowest. It did just over 3 million, which is still great for
with the budget,
94 in that budget. But you guys were a little bit off. But yeah, critics love it, fans love it. It did well in the box office, and it's.
So why does Brenden hate it so much?
Why does he? And in 2019, the United States Film Registry in the Library of Congress put it in there as being culturally, historically, and aesthetically significant. So it is pretty regarded by everybody, seemingly.
I mean, that movie is that and Swingers were like what got me into like fucking artistic movies or whatever independent movies, everything back then. Those
are
are like
money and you don't even know it, Todd.
Yeah, those two movies were like they were like life changing for me as far as like watching movies, because I remember just being like, I'll watch this. It doesn't look like my black and white. Get out of here, And then I ended up loving it.
It's weird that you went from liking good movies to liking bad ones. Like I don't understand where you fell off.
How dare you? How dare you?
But so this is everyone has seen this more than once, or at least once, besides myself. Correct? That's where we're at here with this film. I'm assuming that's going to be the case for both of these films. I think we may have already mentioned this, but I just want to clear that up. Okay. So, has anything changed for any of you with this new viewing? Still like it? Still hate it? Still have different opinions, Mike, overall?
I still like it. It is... At this point, it's just like a weird encapsulation of
the 90s.
Like the 90s for me, yeah.
Okay. Why were you playing a lot of rooftop hockey?
Once or twice, but a lot of times people fell off the roof.
That's fair. That checks out. What about you, Dom? Overall, how do you feel about Clerks?
I still like it.
Okay. do either of you have like newer opinions on anything about the film overall with a modern? I don't know the last time you watched the film. I don't know if you even know the last time you watched the film.
In the last couple of years, probably last year.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything particularly new other than like, oh yeah, this is a product of its time, and also I feel like, yeah, we'll talk about it later. It's fine.
Okay. Okay. What about you, Todd? Opinions changed? Stayed the same?
No, I'd say the same. This movie's like a time capsule for me. It's like this Scream, like this movie was like so impactful to my group of friends. Like we were obsessed with this universe. We were obsessed with Chasing Amy, Mallrats, Clerks. Like it was like, yeah, like my high school years were like heavy. Like this, all we would do is quote those movies all the time. And it's still a great movie.
I will say this. It's an enjoyable film. Obviously a product of a lot of things, product of its time, product of its budget, young filmmaker. Overall, I do understand why it has, I don't know, it seems like everything describes it online as being a cult classic, but it seems like it's not. Like it seems like it is like way bigger than that. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was a cult classic at the time, but even with that
Huge cult.
But even with that box office pull, I feel like it still must have been like a notable thing.
I mean, consider 94's like movie releases.
I don't know. Do you know off the top of your head? What's like...
Off the top of my head, that might have been the year of The Lion King. I can't remember if Forrest Gump is 94 or 95.
Let's see. Popular movies according to Google, 1994. We got Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, Legends of the Fall.
Street Fighter.
Street Fighter is there. Leon, Little Giants, Shawshank Redemption, Trial by Jury, Speed, Pulp Fiction, Ace Ventura, Color of Night, True Lies, Little Rascals, The Last Seduction, The Mask.
Like I don't want to compare.
It was a big year for Jim Carrey.
Yeah, I was gonna say he has two.
Oh,
pretty notable films. Like for his catalog, pretty notable films in 1 year.
I don't want to compare like Quentin Tarantino and Kevin Smith, but like Kevin Smith's like big thing, his big draw was like his dialogue kind of thing. Where like obviously not in the same level as like but his big thing is his dialogue and his like ever expanding cast of characters. Even I remember how memorable the scene was when they're talking about last Return of the Jedi and Empire Strikes Back. Like that scene was like a huge deal back then. Like just the conversation they have on it and everything.
So I'll pull back for a second. I like this movie a lot. I thought it was good. I have still been noodling on it since I watched it. It is definitely one of those things that I feel like can probably very easily fall into two different things. It's clearly a very smart film in a lot of ways. It's clearly meant to make you think about things, I think, when in a lot of its dialogue. But I also think it probably falls...
I enjoy that you call this a smart film where like they went on a 10-minute diatribe about her blowing 37 guys.
Okay.
In a row?
Well, also, yes. Okay. Well, so fuck, Mike just stole what I think is the funniest line in the entire movie is when he tells the guy that works at the movie store that she blew 37 guys or whatever, and his response is in a row. I fucking audibly laughed. I laughed so fucking hard because it was like the best. Everything about that was the best line delivery, I think, in the whole movie. It was like the funniest, just straight up joke in the film. I laughed. Like I paused the movie because I was laughing so hard. I was like, this motherfucker. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. I feel like I don't get hit by a lot of like, haha, like I'm going to actually laugh out loud jokes anymore. So it was good. It hit the spot. Yeah, I think they do like tackle a lot of things. They make you think in certain ways, but I feel like some of it, I think there's also like, you know what? This is actually a conversation I don't want to have, so I'm just going to move on from what I'm trying to say. I just feel like there's maybe some surface level like depth to certain things they're saying that I think some people maybe would pull off of the dialogue when it's actually talking about something else or something deeper. So I'm curious, like, because I was fucking 5 years old and was not watching this film when it came out. I'm curious what the conversation around the movie was then, with some of the dialogue and like the things like Todd talking about the deaths, like the stormtrooper thing, which is like a philosophical conversation about, you know, taking a government contract or whatever when they're doing something bad. I don't know. I wanted to move on because it's like we can't talk about something that it's not 1994. I don't know. Unless someone like has a fucking article from the time back then and whatever. But anyways, it was something I was thinking about after I watched the movie. I was like, I'm very curious how people took the film, you know, at that kind of surface level face value at that time. Anyways,
I guess
like
we'll never know.
We'll never know. I'll look later to see if somebody did write about that at the time or went back and dug around for like interview clips or newspaper stuff or whatever, if there's stuff that exists that talks about that. But yeah, I think it is. I mean, it's rough around the edges, but that's for a lot of reasons, and I think some of it is purposeful. But I think it's hard to. Like I don't think any of that stuff is a strike against the movie. Like I do think the acting in some points is kind of whatever, but again, it's like it is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, it's that budget is so low because like he had to Kevin Smith had to like use his friends and like amass the money himself. That's a reason. There's a reason why the movie like basically only takes place in front of the store and inside the store. Well, it's because like that was the only place they could shoot.
Yeah, and I think
that's why they didn't go inside the fucking funeral home or anything.
Yeah, and I do think that's like strengths of the film. I think it shows like the creativity of making the film, but I just think it also kind of like the fact that basically the whole movie, unless I'm misremembering, the whole movie takes place just in the course of a day. It's all just one day,
yes.
Right? It's just an interesting sort of way to slice that movie, and obviously make use of the budget and being able to utilize that money in smart ways.
Ironically, like I think Jay's like the best actor out of anyone. He's just so natural as like I just picture that is all he's ever been his whole life. Like he's just like,
Jay is I assume Jason is just playing himself.
Yes, yeah, 100%. Yes.
Or like a heightened version of himself or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I will say one of the things that stuck out to me, and at least when we get to Mallrats as well, I'm curious how much of this kind of flows through the rest of Kevin Smith's movies, because I have a feeling it might be a thing that's kind of a constant, but it was definitely more prevalent in Clerks, and again, part of that was probably just because of how this movie was made and like what they were trying to do with it, but it felt at points, and this is again, it's not like a dig at the movie, it felt like theatery, both in the dialogue and just like it's just a camera on a scene in this thing, like when they're laying down and he's like painting her nails or whatever, and they're just having a long conversation about how many people you slept with and whatever else they talk about in that scene. It's like these actors are like seemingly memorizing long dialogue lines because there doesn't seem to be any cuts. Like it just seems to be like a straight scene, and it felt very like performative in that way, if that makes sense.
Yeah, he definitely has Kevin Smith has a way of writing dialogue, and yeah, they're all wordy and like the actual exact opposite of the way I'm speaking now.
Yeah,
they've got a lot of things to say and they're filling up all the space to say it.
Yeah. It is, and it carries over, even though Mallrats clearly is like bigger everything, more scenes, more movement, a lot of stuff going on,
color.
But the dialogue still remains that way. Like it still remains that very like embellished way of talking, to the point where it reminds me of two things that I'm mad that it reminds me of.
Gilmore Girls, let's just say it.
It
Gilmore
does.
Girls.
It does. That is like very similar to how those characters talk and act. It's like extremely it's word soup. Like it's just mouthful of dialogue. And to a little bit lesser of an extent, but similar. And Todd will know this one. Dawson's Creek. See,
I knew you were gonna.
Very similar.
I mean, Kevin Williamson was known for his dialogue too,
Yeah.
though. Like that's why like Scream and everything.
Yeah.
Like and
it's not a knock. It's just like it's a thing that I noticed immediately with Clerks, and then it carried over again with Mallrats. Of like, oh, they're like very similar style of how they're writing characters and writing scenes and dialogue.
I think Chasing Amy is probably his like most dialogue heavy, and then I think after Dogma, like it's still got that like I mean like Clerks 2 is kind of very it's but like like I think like after that, like after Jay and Silent Bob probably when he starts getting like more slapsticky almost and kind of like Will Ferrell here.
Oh, Bob was pretty slapsticky.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, yeah, Mallrats. Everything with Bob and Mallrats is like very, like, out of reality, sort of. Like he's, I don't know if that's his character going forward too, where it's like he kind of is like breaking, that sort of reality within the confines of the story. I didn't get a joke in Mallrats because I wouldn't have this knowledge, but Jen did when he said, who says it actually? Oh, it's the guy. It's Willem, the guy that's staring at the boat picture.
The picture, yeah.
And he calls. I forget which one. The character's name from like 902, like that actress that plays.
Brenda. He calls her Brenda.
He calls her
Brenda. Yeah.
And Jen was like, "Do you understand why he called her that?" I was like, "I have no idea why he called her that." And then
I said the same thing. I said the same thing to Amanda. I was like, "Did you get that? You dumb bastard."
But yeah, I mean, I don't know what else specifically I want to like bring up myself about Clerks.
I mean, it's a number of vignettes essentially, like a bunch of short stories that are strung together by a loose plot.
It's wild though. I think it holds up incredibly well for like what it is as a movie, though. Like it's pretty like you could go back and watch a movie like that and be like, ugh, that's just not what I thought it was. But yeah, no, I think the movie definitely holds up, and I think it's pretty on point with like a lot of it's subtle what they're trying to address. But like, I feel like people could think the movie comes off as like sexist and stuff like that, but I don't think that's what they're doing. I think they're like, especially Chasing Amy, like tackles like a lot of important issues, but also like pokes fun at them a lot too.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I'm sure that a lot of film schools probably make people watch this film, and I can see that being like an important this seems like a required reading thing if you like movies or want to make movies. That's how it feels to me.
Also, I kind of wish I was a Gen Xer now. Like I feel like that was my calling.
There's still time.
I don't think it works that way, but I can try.
No, you just change how just change up some just lie about your age. Everyone does it.
Great. I'm going to be 50. Let's see. How long have we been talking about this now?
An hour and a half.
20-ish minutes, give or take.
Okay. All right, carry on.
You what? Is that like you want to move on to Mallrats?
No. No, I was like, at what point do we talk about the alternate ending? If that's worth talking about at all.
Oh, I didn't see the alternate ending. Was I supposed to watch?
I know.
That?
You weren't supposed to watch. I was just curious if it was worth mentioning or bringing it up at all.
Yeah, go for it. I don't even know what it is. I'm assuming the rest of you do. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah. So at the end of the movie, a robber comes into the convenience store and shoots Dante. So Dante dies at the end of the film. Yeah.
I don't think it would have worked, but like, yeah.
It wouldn't have worked. Well, they do make several, I forget.
He tried it in viewings, right?
I think so. And like, they do mention a couple times in the film, I think they were talking about how one of them liked, either Dante or Randall liked Empire more, because it ended on just like a down note with Han being captured and losing his hand and stuff. So like, I think that was kind of what he's going for, like a downer ending. Because he would have been shot.
Dante liked Empire more.
He would have been killed. I think it was said at some point that the security camera wasn't working, and then like given like a number of circumstances, like no one would have found him for a long time, or at least like over the weekend, I guess. So like
Similar
it was
to the
implied
guy in
that
the
there was like a
bathroom.
similar to the guy in the bathroom, who when I was watching the movie, I remembered when I saw him go into the bathroom. I'm like, I remember that guy like dies in the bathroom. I forgot about what happened with the girlfriends or like the ex
Oh
girlfriend.
yeah, right.
I completely forgot about that. It's like, oh, that's right. That's
The
how
wheel.
that plot line resolves itself.
I don't know if anyone else feels this way. I feel like the movie really hinges itself on Randall. I think Randall sort of like
Yeah.
carries the movie more
I think the movie hinges itself on the relationship between
between the
Dante
two
and
of them.
Randall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I know what you're
Which
saying though.
which Clerks 3 is the same thing. It hinges
Yeah.
on the relationship between the two of them.
Okay. Oh, have you watched Clerks 3?
I think I've watched all of them.
I thought someone last time said they didn't see
I
Clerks 3.
I said I didn't watch Clerks 3 because
Okay.
I forgot that it came out, but I've seen Clerks 2.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. It was a good film. It was I don't know, like, I mean, I already watch a lot of movies, so I don't know. I was going to say, I don't know if I go out of my way to watch it again, but I probably would watch it again at some point. Like, if it came on, I don't think I would change it. I'd just be like, yeah, whatever. I'll watch this again.
I watch it once every couple of years.
Do the other, or I guess you can just say, I'll just ask it this way, so maybe it's, less, not that's a spoiler, but do any of his other movies do it this vignette way where it's like a title card and then like the next scene? Is that a thing he ever does again? I'm assuming Clerks 2 doesn't do that.
I can't
trying to remember how
Jason
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 Amy
watched
does.
Clerks 2.
I'm trying to remember if Dogma does something like that.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I watched any of his other movies, so I really don't remember.
Okay. I mean, it works for the movie, and I can see it working in other films. Like, I don't dislike the vignette style. It's interesting that it's vignette style within the same 24 hours, instead of like, split up over a week or something. Yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting, I think, view at people in general. Like, I think it does a good job of just kind of like diving into the mind of a little bit less the customers, but more the clerks, which, I think is the point of the film. I think this is obviously a very personal project for him because if what I read was correct, I'm assuming it is, he was not just a store clerk, but he was a store clerk in that, like, that's where the film is being shot, is the store that he actually worked in.
That's why he was able to film there.
When we drove down there, did we go to that Quick Mark? Okay, I thought so. The other place that we went to, is that just a thing that he made after, or is that a thing that's
his like
store?
shop?
Okay, but that doesn't have like
It's
relevance
connected.
to the movies.
No, isn't it connected to Brody's character in some way? I forget exactly how.
Yes. Well, kind of. But not yet. Like,
okay.
Not what Brendan's seen.
Nope.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I don't know. Anything else on Clerks? We don't have to.
That would loosely happen in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
I don't remember.
I think that one has Brody inside the comic store.
Okay. All these movies do, well, not all of them, but the credits do say that Jay and Silent Bob will return in Dogma. They return way earlier than that, so huzzah for that, right?
The end of Clerks says that? I don't remember that.
If you sit through the credits, that's what it says at the end. It says Jay and Silent Bob will return in Dogma.
Really? I don't know that I noticed that either.
Yep.
Also, the end of Mallrats was look forward to a movie that doesn't happen for another
a while, exactly.
10 years at that point.
I figured Brenden was going crazy at the end of Mallrats with the song.
What was
I
the end?
forget what the song
Mallrats was Suzanne.
That's that Weezer.
Oh, Weezer,
Suzanne?
yes. Okay, yes. Yeah, I was happy with that. I mean, we'll get to Mallrats. I do want to talk about the credits of Mallrats, or the end of Mallrats.
We didn't talk about the Chewbacca song.
Oh yeah. Chewbacca. What a
Wookiee. Yeah, he like bumped up the cost of the movie by adding a bunch of songs, and like some of them felt very unnecessary for him to like have gone out of his way to get the licensing for.
Yeah. But he did it.
He did it.
God bless him.
Anything else anyone wants to bring up or talk about with Clerks?
I feel like I want to say something about the characters themselves. Like I remember for a while, I guess Randall ultimately at a point he was just a dickhead about everything, and then Dante was also kind of an asshole. I think that's just how people were back then. I don't know if I have anything else to
I
actually
think people are
say
just
about
assholes
them.
in general.
Yeah.
I mean, I do think it is sort of though like it's two people that don't. It's Randall seems very aware of his life and where his life is at and what he's currently doing, and he's happy or okay with certain parts of it, but understands that he has other things he wants to do or accomplish. So he's okay with acting how he acts in that setting because he's content with the present and understands it's not the forever, at least in his mind. Whereas Dante is maybe unwillingly content with the present, but doesn't like a lot of the things in his present, but he refuses to do anything about it.
Yeah.
And Randall, I think everyone else can kind of see that, and it ends up boiling up to the end of the movie, which is you don't want to fucking do anything about it, so like I'll do it for you. Or whatever. There was another scene I wanted to mention just now, and I forget what it was. But some of when they cut to like the customer stuff, and it's like don't you just want to like say whatever? And then it cuts to like different customers saying like a line of dialogue.
Yeah.
Some of those were kind of cheesy. I was like,
I'm sure it hit home. I'm sure it hit extra hard for people that were working in customer service back then. You know what I mean?
Oh,
I feel like they deal with a bunch. Like obviously, this is like a heightened or exaggerated way of showing.
It's really not.
Okay.
I mean,
that's fair.
If you've worked any public-facing job, which I did for a long fucking time, Dom has done, Todd has done. I don't know if you ever have though. Not really.
Nope. I dodged all that.
But yes, people are generally that annoying.
Waiting's like the most ridiculous movie ever, and like I completely understand like 90% of the stuff in that movie, and it actually happens in the fucking service world. Like
yep. But I firmly like. I think you are a better person when you have to work that type of job for some portion of your life, because I do think that there are valuable things you learn from that experience that unteachable in other ways.
He says you need to be a better person, is what he's saying.
And guess what? I'm not going to be. I actively choose not to.
Yeah.
This movie features very few like good people. I think everyone in the
movie I think everyone's like a shade of
kind of
bad.
Yeah.
Actually, I would argue that the girlfriend
and Vanessa.
Veronica's Veronica's the one that brings him lasagna. Yeah.
Correct. Veronica is probably like the nicest person in the film. Besides Bob. Bob is kind of always just a steady presence.
Yeah, he's kind of just like he's like an omniscient narrator, but doesn't narrate.
What was his line of dialogue in Clerks?
Did he have one? I could have sworn he was
he does at some point talk at the end, either at the end or towards the end. He does.
I think there's only one movie he doesn't have a line of dialogue, and I can't remember what it is.
Then I do not remember what he said.
Yeah, I don't remember.
It's usually it's usually like something profound.
I'm pretty sure it was about Veronica, because I want to say it was something to do with the lasagna.
You found a girl who bring you lasagna at work, like you
And
can't
not
lose
cheat on
that
you.
or something.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. It was good. It was a good film. I enjoyed it. I think. I don't know. That's all I got to say about it. It was a good film. I wasn't expecting there to be a mention of snowballing. Caught me off
There
guard.
was.
What a surprise, right?
Not only a mention. Not only a mention. There was a whole
A
conversation.
deep dive.
There was a
whole
whole
deep dive.
conversation about it. and
a character named Snowball.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. It's a good film. It's good. I don't want to say I'm mad at myself
Snowball
that
was
I didn't
Scott
watch it.
Mosier, I'm pretty sure too, who is like the co-producer of the movie.
Let's see.
Scott Mosier. He's also the egg carton guy, I believe.
Oh yeah.
Wikipedia has Scott Mosier listed as William Black, who is the angry hockey playing customer. Let me see if it.
The one that's like yelling at them while they're playing hockey. He's like, "Hey,
when are you going to be open? Oh, after the first period. How long is that? Oh, 8 minutes or whatever. I'm trying to see if it lists Snowball here. I mean, maybe he also played them because it doesn't even list that character in this. Let's look at IMDb instead.
While you're doing that, so I looked up the top box office for 1994, and I remember when I said what movies came out that year. I think Lion King, and then I said Forrest Gump. Maybe those were numbers 1 and 2 that year. So
okay.
there is
makes
that.
sense.
True Lies, The Santa Claus, The Flintstones,
True Lies, man. I kind of want to pick that as my next pick.
Mrs. Doubtfire, Interview with the Vampire, Schindler's List.
True Lies is James Cameron.
Walter Flanagan was the Eggman.
The Eggman was an interesting character. Anyways, all right. And this, for the sake of time, we should move on. Unless someone else has something they want to say about Clerks. Otherwise, we can mosey on over to Mallrats.
I'm good.
Okay. So 1995. Let's pull up the old Roddy Tommies, as we do with these films. Whoops. Mike, what do you think? Tomato meter and popcorn meter for Mallrats.
I'm gonna say 80, 85.
80, 85. Okay, so that's speaking, I think, to Mike as well. Mike likes Clerks more than Mallrats, it seems.
I'm saying that I think generally people might like this movie less. I'm not saying I'd like it less. I'm just saying, trying to get in the mind space of the people.
All right. Todd, what do you think?
I'm going to go 55-70.
55-70?
Yep.
All right.
It's my, I like, this is my,
I'm going to go like 70-70.
Okay. What were you going to say, Todd?
I feel like people, this came right after Clerks, which was like a fucking massive success, and like, you know, had amazing reviews. And then I think that like the bar was so high that people just like, not everyone was on board with Mallrats, but I it's like one of my personal favorites of his.
I mean, there's definitely a lot of things tonally that are very different, and I think part of that is Jay and Silent Bob have a much more larger role in this film, and it's way more like goofy comedy. So maybe that was a deterrent, because Todd's pretty on the ball here. Tomato meter 58, but Mike the closest with popcorn with an 82. So moviegoers enjoyed it, critics not so much.
I can see that now.
What was the critic?
58. With a budget of course, it doesn't list the budget here. Let's see what Google says for the budget of Mallrats. This can't be right. Hold on.
Fly, fat ass, fly.
I mean, that's listed in multiple spots here. That the budget was $6.1 million. Oh
wow.
6.1 million budget for Mallrats, according to multiple sources on the internet. What do you think according to Box Office Mojo, Mike, did it take home in the worldwide box office? Which again looks like a domestic only release.
Yeah, I feel like it must have done well enough to like keep Kevin Smith employed in making films. So I'm going to say 20 mil.
Okay, a little 20 mil. How are you thinking?
I'm gonna say what I said last time. I'm gonna say 8 mil.
8 mil.
Yep.
Okay. Dom, what do you think?
6.
6.
Oh wow.
Well, Dom was correct to go lower because according to Box Office Mojo, this raked in just over 2 million. According to Box Office Mojo.
Over 2, wow.
Wow.
Even more surprising, not the critic review, but the fact that it was performed way under its budget. I can imagine was not good for Kevin Smith at the time.
Yep.
He made another movie a year later, 2 years later.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I don't think Chasing Amy had a big box office gross either.
Oh,
I'm wondering.
I think he's always done well on word of mouth.
Dogma probably did.
Maybe, yeah. I was just going to Google to see what his highest grossing was.
Yeah.
Dogma had people in it.
I guess that's true.
So this is.
Do you want to know what his highest grossing movie was out of all?
Tusk.
It's Jay and Silent Bob, and it did 33 million. It's just fucking not even that great. If this is true.
So I don't know where this information is coming from, but I kept scrolling on the budget stuff, and I found a Reddit thread from a year ago that says, I always see comments online that Mallrats was a financial failure, making only $202 million on an $8 million budget. The part that nobody mentions is that Mallrats only released in 800 theaters in the U.S. Based on what I could find, there were over 25,000 theaters in 1995. If the movie was only released in 3% of theaters, how would it have been financially successful? Blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
He's still an independent filmmaker.
Yeah.
I mean, he's still, like, now even independent filmmaker. Like, but independent film is a lot different than it was in the 90s.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Like I had wondered if it had like a limited release, because Clerks also struck me as a film that had a very limited release.
Yeah.
But like, why would you? And this is something I'm sure I could easily look up. Like, if you're financing an independent film like that, why would you give them so much money for it to only open up in so many theaters? I don't know.
I think that Clerks was a Cannes film that like blew up when they premiered it at Cannes. Like it was like something that like no one was really expecting much.
That's probably why it made $3 million on such a small budget. Mallrats wasn't winning any awards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's just not that kind of movie.
Yeah. So, off the top, how's everyone feeling about a rewatch of Mallrats? How are opinions changed? Still like it? Still love it? Still hate it? Changed opinion? Mike, anything off the top?
I think it's still fine. It's definitely, like we said, much more. It's much more of a goofy comedy. Definitely much more of like a typical 90s. I don't want to say rom-com. I mean, there's a romance element, but I feel like it is kind of there by. It's there out of necessity.
Yeah.
It's not like the main thing. It's just we needed something perfunctory, I suppose. But like, it's still fine. I got some chuckles. I got some yucks.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Definitely ahead of its time for like pop culture references and shit like that in film, and like just like it was definitely like ahead of its time with that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this Stan Lee's first movie appearance? I have no idea. I'm just asking.
I doubt it.
I have no idea unless he showed up in one of like the previous like Marvel films.
Movies. Okay.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know he was in the movie, and then when obviously like it was revealed that he was in the movie, I was shocked at how young he was.
You didn't know he was in the movie?
He was still very old. I know at some point at the beginning of the film they say that he's in it. I think he might be in the title.
You
scroll.
saw Captain Marvel.
Yeah, he's on the bus. Says he is he
reading the script to Mallrats?
Oh, well, I forgot that. I don't know everything. He shows up in another one of Kevin Smith's movies. I'm pretty sure, right?
I don't think so.
I could have sworn he did. I don't know.
You know who you're thinking of? You're probably thinking of what?
I don't know what you said.
The comedian. Oh, you're probably thinking of the dude in Dogma. Blinking.
George Carlin?
George Carlin, yeah.
Maybe. My light just went out again. I don't know what's happening up here in my office. If this light is broken, I'm going to be so mad. Let me unplug it. I don't know. Todd, what do you think? Mallrats, change, opinion, anything?
I love it. It's like it's a comfort movie. I think Brody is one of my all-time favorite characters of like all time. And yeah, I love Brody. Brody carries this movie on his back. Like everyone else is good in it too, for the most part. Like there's some shitty acting by like Claire Forlani and the main kid in it. I forget. I don't think his acting is that great, but
I don't like it.
but yeah,
Jeremy London.
Yeah, Jeremy London. But I think Jason Lee carries this movie on his fucking back.
So Jason Lee gave me a lot of like young Ryan Reynolds vibes.
Yeah, he's
yeah.
Like to the point where I was like, whoa, there was a different trajectory maybe for Jason Lee. Like if he got different.
Jason Lee was big for
he was huge.
a while.
He was in Vanilla Sky. He was in like.
And then he did like Underdog and
My Name is Earl. He did My Name is Earl though, and
the Chipmunks.
Yeah, I know Dom loves fucking the Chipmunks.
Well, Brenden, he was a pretty big professional skateboarder before all this. Like he was like
I don't know if
a well-known. Yeah, he's like a well-known skateboarder before any of this started, and he's a big camera guy too. I think he's like has his own like camera company now where he makes like cameras and shit.
That sounds right.
Yeah, the entire time I was watching the movie, I was thinking, you know that meme of from The Boys where what's his face? Homelander's talking to Soldier Boy, he's like, I'm the upgrade. I was just picturing that with Jason Lee and Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, Jason Lee was great in the movie. Ben Affleck.
Boy, Michael Rooker's here.
Interesting. I don't know how I was feeling about it, but then Jen pointed it out, and then it's all I could see. But he's kind of like way overacting in this movie, and like not a good actor in the movie. Michael Rooker.
Oh yeah, he's been in everything though. He's in so many movies growing up. So like him coming back and like becoming popular again through James Gunn has always been like interesting to me because I was a huge Cliffhanger guy. That movie with Stallone, and like he was a huge part of that movie. He was in Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer. Like, he was like in like good movies back in the day.
Well, he was unfortunately not that good in this movie.
How old do you think Michael Rooker was in this movie that he was playing what's-her-face's father?
He was probably going to be like 40, 45 in this movie, I'm assuming.
You do see his butt pretty early.
You see his butt.
Pretty
That's
early.
a butt of a 40-year-old, I assun. I could be wrong.
There was a lot of nudity in the movie that I was not expecting there to be as much. I was expecting there to be any nudity. And then when there was a lot of nudity throughout the film, I was like, oh, okay, this is what we're doing here. Okay. Todd loves the fortune teller scene.
Oh, I was telling Brenden, I love that scene so much because the whole time he would look and then he's like this, like peeking out his hand the whole time. But I still love the scene, like when you first meet Brody and what's her name, Brenda,
Shannon Doherty's character.
Yeah, and he's like breakfast smackmas. The whale only play when he like goes into his whole tangent about like the whale and everything. And
the whale only beats Vancouver once every 10 years.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so good. Every line he has in that movie, I'm just like, it's so good. Even when he goes on to talk about like Superman knocking up Lois and how she need like that whole thing.
Need a super womb.
It's so good.
What
Fred might need help. He keeps talking about superheroes.
that was a good line in the movie. How do you feel, Dom? Overall, still holds up?
I still enjoy all these films. So if we keep watching them, I will see how I feel about Chasing Amy. But I don't know. I still enjoy his movies. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, I like this one.
They're like Todd said, they're like comfort movies for me. Like,
mm-hmm. I enjoyed it. I liked honestly, I liked everything but the A plot. If the A plot is T.S. Quint and that girl, I didn't care about that I didn't need a resolution either way. Like, it would have been fine if that was just like what was happening, and everything else is what like you cared about in the movie, or at least like as far as entertainment value.
Well, you'll be happy to know that TS and what's her face do not appear any more times in the Viewisk universe.
Oh, really?
And
Okay.
all of the other characters do.
So
Right.
okay, so this is because we've sort of mentioned it. You guys have sort of mentioned it to me, and I was like vaguely aware, at least through Dogma. I knew that like people converge. I didn't know it was like grander outside of Dogma in that way. But
Well, things start getting more confusing.
okay, so what I was gonna ask was, and if it's like convoluted or shouldn't be answered, don't answer it. But
Jason Lee is in the film and he plays a different character.
in Dogma.
Ben Affleck is in the film and he plays a different character.
So before we even
Oh,
get there, the actor that plays Dante shows up in this film as Gil.
And what is his name?
Gil
Gil
Hicks,
Hicks.
same last name.
Gil Hicks.
So
Yeah, they're cousins, I believe.
does that ever get said somewhere?
No,
I
but
forget.
I believe in the next movie he plays another Hicks.
Interesting.
I think in Chasing Amy he plays like a police officer also with the last name Hicks.
So
or like
when these other actors show up in future films, are they all related in some way?
no.
Okay. All right. So sometimes they show up as just different characters.
Oh, you'll be real confused when we get to Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Yeah, right.
All right.
When Jason Lee shows up as two of his characters and Ben Affleck shows up as two of his characters.
But he was the bomb in Phantoms.
Yeah,
the bomb.
I was gonna pick Phantoms. I was gonna pick Phantoms.
So I was going to say this at the end, but I'll just say it now since we're kind of talking about it. Not everything has to be content that we do. I am definitely going to at least watch Chasing Amy and Dogma.
Oh
Again, you're gonna have to wait on Dogma. Unless
I mean, I don't want to dox myself, I guess, but I'm probably going to go to New Hampshire to watch that movie. So,
oh, okay.
tickets are like $70, but
yeah.
it's a Q&A.
worth of
It's
shit.
like a Q&A with him after. It's like he's going to talk about the film. So I'm like, that's kind of cool. I might go. So we'll see.
I was gonna say something else just now, or maybe I wasn't.
You know what my favorite part about Mallrats is too? When every time Brody brings up his Uncle Walter.
He starts the movie with it.
Right.
The movie literally starts with
I love when he's on stage though and he brings up his Uncle Walter again.
On the plane.
How
Wait, what does he
how the
start
hell
the
was I
movie
supposed to
with?
get the gerbil out?
Oh, that's the
How the hell was I
okay.
supposed to get the gerbil out?
And then the when he brings him up on stage, it's masturbating on the plane.
Yeah.
Well, did he finish?
Did he finish?
Oh man, some things aren't supposed to be talked about in public. Gil, yeah, Jason Lee's pretty funny in this movie. Oh fuck,
There's a lot of like good just quick lines of dialogue in this movie.
Yeah, even
Yes.
when the suit is talking, he's like, "Where does he come up with this shit?" And he's just, or like when I was saying before, the escalator is the kid's back on.
That kid is back on the escalator.
And then they're
And then
like
later-
in line waiting for the Stanley thing, and over. Oh my god, there's a kid stuck in the escalator.
No, it's oh yeah, it is then because I was trying to think because they were being like the mall security had them and then they ran off.
Mall security runs away.
Yeah. So I meant to like pay more attention and then I just apparently I forgot to. So at some point, I think it's when I don't think it's from his house. I think it's when they go to get the cookie in the food court, or not the food court, actually, very not the food court.
That's a whole nother discussion if you want to have that.
I do want to have that one. That's why I just corrected myself because it's not the food court. They go to the cookie place to get cookies. He has this little small white cup. That little white cup follows with him for like half the movie. I meant to watch when it completely goes away, but there were just different points where the cup would pop back out, and I'm like, is he putting this cup in his pocket? What is going on with this cup?
He loses the cup when Affleck
fights him. Okay, that's the last note I have on my phone is I literally have a running whenever the cup popped back on screen because I don't know when I must have noticed it again.
Fill this with Coke, no ice.
Yes,
That's just like a Dixie cup.
That's when I noticed that he had it again. But there was like other scenes where he's just holding the cup, and I'm like, why does he have this cup? Like, what? Oh, you know what it is? When they have sex in the elevator, and he puts his clothes back on, he's holding the cup in the fucking elevator. I'm like, why does he have this cup?
I still love that scene. It's like, he's getting the best.
I did think it was funny that at the beginning in the title, in the credits, they do all the comic books and Ben Affleck is Buttman. I thought it was funny because he went to eventually play Batman. I just thought it was a funny thing.
Yeah, that's true.
Why? That is the joke.
I thought I enjoyed that he was the
He was
Buttman
living
or
with
whatever.
Kevin Smith. He was living with Kevin Smith, and Kevin Smith like joked that like one day you'll play Batman.
Wait, really?
I mean, to be fair, he also played Daredevil, and he also played George Reeve. So
Yeah, but it's
Oh yeah, I
just,
forgot he played George
but
Reeves
like
too, yeah.
playing Batman's a whole different thing. That's playing Batman, Mike. It's not playing Daredevil. It's playing fucking Batman. Like if you play Batman, that's a different. Come on.
To be fair, didn't Kevin Smith play?
he didn't play Foggy. He played
He played Blunt.
he played like a
No,
That's
didn't he
true.
play one of the artists? Like one of the Marvel artists
in what?
in Daredevil?
No, he was wasn't he like the coroner? He was in the movie, but I'm trying to remember what he was. He was part of the police department. Someone fact check me on this. I mean, I guess I could just look it up myself too.
Bro, the amount of people we used to do stink palm to, I can't even tell you either. Like,
That's fucking disgusting.
Why?
I'm
That's fucking disgusting. I will say this. So I'll pull back to my initial overall thoughts, and then we can just talk about whatever again. But I liked this movie overall. Knowing that I'm watching this 31 years later, whatever, and there are a lot of. Good.
He plays a forensic analyst named Jack Kirby.
Oh, there it
so
is,
you were both correct. You were both
So we
sort
were
of correct.
both
wait, what movie?
Daredevil.
Daredevil.
Seeing this movie now for the first time, 31 years later, knowing that there are a lot of other Kevin Smith movies to watch that are going to evolve on his filmmaking process and these characters and whatever, I liked the movie, but it really just made me more interested in seeing his other films. Which again is not like a negative about Mallrats, because I did enjoy it. I just think that it has only made me more curious to now go. I really just want to get to Dogma, because
Chasing Amy is really good.
according to Jen, I'm going to really like Dogma. So
Yeah, Dogma was a good time. We're not gonna talk about it now, obviously, but yeah, I remember liking Dogma. I haven't seen Dogma in forever.
well, Mike, if you
and
want to
Brody-
drive up with me on Friday, August 1st, I'm probably going to go to that.
Brody's like a huge part of Chasing Amy, but I don't think he plays Brody. He plays Banks.
Doesn't he plays Banky?
Yeah, Banky. Yeah.
Okay.
So he just plays a different character.
What else we got to say about Mallrats? What else we
Yeah, we had mentioned how slapsticky the Jay and Silent Bob aspect of it was, which was funny, a little distracting. But like I remember him like Bob trying to use the Force throughout the film, and I remember at some point it does pay off. I'm like, how did they explain that? Did he actually use the Force? What was there? And then fucking Willem kicks a thing. That's not how physics works, but I guess I can't really have a gripe about that considering everything else that occurred.
Yeah. Oh, what do you mean? Fucking grappling hook off of his belt? It's
the
not,
grappling hook, like literally, yeah. There are so many other things that, whatever. That's just how we're doing things. What else I want to say? I did not rewatch the director's cut. I just quickly looked at what the differences were. In the director's cut, it starts off like some other event occurred at the beginning of the film, and that's why What's-Her-Face's dad hates TS so much. Something else like occurred that like,
Oh, it wasn't the girl drowning?
it wasn't the girl drowning, who was the girl that they had to go to the funeral for in Clerks. It was some other
really?
event. Yeah, the girl, they were saying like she was doing laps and she had an aneurysm in the pool, and that's what happened.
I don't remember that. That's interesting.
Oh,
I never made that connection.
I didn't either.
Yeah. What was I saying? But yeah, in the director's cut, there's some sort of event where TS, I think, almost kills the governor, and that's why Michael Shannon's not Michael Shannon, Michael Rooker's character is so upset with TS and why he hates him so much. And there's like other things that are like revolve around that particular plot point. Trying to remember what else that I wanted to say about this. I feel like there is more, but at this point, now I've watched the movie like a week ago and I've forgotten everything.
You brought up
Gotta take notes.
You brought up Silent Bob doing the Force at the beginning.
Yeah.
In the front of the cat window. I don't know why it always makes me laugh. Fucking knock it off!
Yeah, when he's slapping
He
his
just keeps
hand.
slapping the cigarette out of his hand.
And I love how he's like to the cats, like the stupid little stuff, but like, it's so good.
Yeah, they were great. And that's, I don't know if that counts as him speaking, but he does, when he says say bye to the cats, he does say pss, 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 pss. I don't know if that counts as him speaking twice in the movie.
It doesn't, but him speaking in the movie is
him quoting.
Yeah, quoting.
That works out.
Yeah. I will say I did.
She doesn't care.
Nope, she did not want to be a part of that. What was I gonna say? I got cat brain now, and now I don't even know what I was gonna say. Bring up something. What scene was I gonna talk about?
Oh, it's a schooner. Ah, stupid! It's a boat. A schooner is a boat.
It's a sailboat.
You know what?
Oh, that's what I was going to talk about, is what I had brought up before. This, first of all, what I did appreciate about watching this movie is that it made me think about something, and then it also made me sad about something, is that we all loved the mall. We all used to fucking hang out at the fucking mall. And it's so weird to like not have that be a part of anything anymore. Like even when I go to the mall now, it is just not the fucking same. Like it's just not the fucking same. But when
it's depressing now.
It is pretty depressing. But when they go to get the cookie and TS is like, what do you mean? This is part of the food court. And then Brody had like all of these fucking like off the cuff, ready to go rules about the mall. I was like, holy shit, did we do the same shit? Like we had rules about the mall. Did you have rules about the mall, Todd?
I don't think so. I don't know.
Todd wasn't a fucking loser. Okay, I got it.
Todd only watched Mallrats. He was not a mall rat himself.
No, I feel like Todd was probably a mall rat.
I was at mall quite a bit, yeah.
I mean, I don't know if would we be considered mall rats? We were there pretty...
Absolutely.
Yeah? Okay. All right.
Absolutely.
Okay.
To be fair, we had rules about the mall, and I had watched this movie like a number of times. So our rules about the mall were probably based
shaped
on
around
Brody's
this.
rules
I'm not mad
the
about
mall.
that. I'm not mad about that. But I don't know. Just that conversation about like why it's not part of the food court was very like it was a very hit home, that conversation. I enjoyed it a lot. We've talked about our mall rules on the podcast before. This is actually probably the one time where it would make the most sense to talk about them, and I'm too lazy to do that.
Too bad.
Someone else wants to do it great.
Listen to episode 369, True Believers.
What else? Todd, you love this movie. What else you got to say about it? So good, good you're speechless?
Speechless. Yeah, no, it's a constant I'll always watch. It's kind of like Waiting. It's like Step Brothers. It's a classic comedy for me.
Let's have an uncomfortable conversation about the backseat of a Volkswagen. Why hinge the downfall of Ben Affleck's character on whatever is going on with that girl?
Yeah,
why was that a thing?
That girl's plot line is very weird. Does that character show up again?
I don't think so.
Does that actress show up more?
I don't think so either.
I mean, I
Joey Lauren Adams, though? She comes back.
Okay. She looks familiar. Do I know her from other movies? She definitely seemed like a familiar actress. Let me pull her up.
Wait, what does Brody say when he's like, how long are we going to be in this chick store? I'm starting to get
she's on the cover of Chasing Amy. Is she Amy?
Yeah, she is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also according to IMDb, known for that, Dazed and Confused, Big Daddy,
No,
Animal.
She's
I must
not,
recognize her from Big Daddy. Is she?
Oh, you're thinking of Joey Lauren Adams. You're thinking of the.
Yeah,
That's
Joey
what we're
Lauren
talking
Adams.
about. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about the other girl. Yeah, I used to love Joey Lauren Adams. She was like in a bunch of shit back then.
Who is
Yeah,
she in
she's
Big
like a
Daddy?
90s
Does she like
The
the date
girlfriend.
that the girlfriend? Okay,
Yeah.
that's what I thought. That must be where I recognize her from. Is that movie? I mean, her voice is also very distinct.
Yeah.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the conversation between him and Stan Lee is a great scene because I too, in that moment, is like, why the fuck does Stan Lee care so much about
Yeah, I was
love?
confused, but I forgot that TS got him to do it.
And it was a good payoff. It was a good payoff when it was revealed why he was doing it. I was like, okay,
He kept saying the same shit
yes,
over and over.
I was so confused. I was like, is this a thing about Stan Lee that I just didn't know, and it's a funny joke to the people that know? It had a good payoff, I thought.
I going back. I love the game show part because I think it's so funny. But I love when she's like suitor number 1 or 2. She's like, if you were going to engage me, where would you engage me? And Brody's like, when Jaws pops out of the water. He's just like, Molly says, so good.
I'm sorry. How long what was the character's name? Was it Brandy? Am I making that up? I can't remember what the girlfriend's name
Brandy.
was.
It's
Yeah,
Brandy. Yep.
How long were Brandy and TS dating?
Not long.
High school? They're in
Yeah,
college
well, I mean, so my question is, how did she not recognize his voice from the jump?
That was
I know.
like as soon as
It
the
was
scene.
like the second question she said, your voice
Do I know
sounds
you?
familiar.
Yeah.
Do I know you?
That
I feel
was-
like
The bigger thing is like Brody, yeah,
Brody
she doesn't
has-
date him, but he has a very distinct voice, and
I
he
was
was
gonna
like
say,
not
distinct
he was
voice and
not
personality.
trying to not be. Yeah, he was not trying to not be.
And it
himself.
sounds like they're neighbors.
One of the first things that yes, they're neighbors. One of the first things he says is, "Please don't call me suitor number 2." That sounds like a bathroom thing.
Yeah.
When they break up to him, Brody's like, he's like, well, we got to figure out days for visitation rights for the mall and everything. He's like, you can have off days.
The mall is a sacred
Brody?
place. The mall was a sacred place. Now it's
Was.
I don't know, a fucking tomb. Anytime I go to the mall now, it's depressing. I hate to bring it back to the mall, but we are talking about Mallrats.
I mean, now when I go to the mall, I'm literally going there for a store. Like I'm in and out.
But even
If you want to be,
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, if you want to be super depressed, talking about malls, just go into the Liberty Tree Mall and go to the food. There is no longer anything in that food.
Todd,
There's
Yeah,
nothing.
There's a
I've
Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah, it's not in the food
No,
court.
that's on the other.
Not in the food
right?
court.
It's on the other side.
I never knew a life, Todd, where the Liberty Tree Mall had anything of value inside of it. So I don't know
really?
how. Yes, you're
Wait,
so much.
really?
You're so much older than us that mall used to be something.
Well,
I used to
older than
have
us, and
Jamal
also you lived in this area. It
I
was
can
like
tell you everything that was in that mall. It was in the food court. It was an Orange Julius, Sparrow, a McDonald's.
I'm not
a
even talking about the
Subway.
food court. The whole mall has nothing in it.
Suncoast Video. We used to be the spot we'd buy like fucking VHSs.
I've never
fucking-
never seen
And that one had a walk through to Strawberries, right?
No, that was the arcade. Had to walk through the Strawberries. There was like a massive
Okay,
arcade there and everything. Yep.
I don't even remember that.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, no, that mall is fucking trash. I mean, listen, they're all bad now. I don't know the last time any of you have been to Square One. I know that's not Todd's place, but like that's where we went all the time. Have you been there at all recently, Mike?
It's too far away. I have no reason to be there.
It is so. It's on the cusp of being. I mean, it's essentially a Liberty Tree now, but like it's on the cusp of being that bad of a. There's nothing in there.
I've definitely been there in the last 10 years, and I probably did do like a nostalgia lap just to see what was there, but it's very quiet. I must have been. Oh, you know what? I probably went there because like it was one of the last places that still had a Hot Topic.
The North Shore Mall doesn't have a Hot Topic? I think it does.
No, I don't think so.
The North Shore Mall doesn't?
I don't remember. There was a reason why I went there, and I feel like it was specifically for a Hot Topic.
Yeah, I mean, Square One definitely. I don't know if it's still there because I haven't been there in a bit, but it is pretty bad. It's pretty bad. It's like I don't know. I would have to imagine that mall's not far away from becoming knocked down in condos or something. Like there's
Yeah.
I don't know what value. I mean, I guess it'll keep going as long as there are stores there paying rent to whoever owns the fucking plaza. But I can't imagine that like the Dick's and Best Buy are putting up fucking numbers, or Macy's, because that's really the anchors of the Square One Mall are Best Buy, Macy's, Dick's, and I think the other corner is.
Does something take Sears?
It's either JCPenney or Filene's.
There's no way it's Filene's. Filene's is gone, isn't it?
Oh, so then it's JCPenney. Actually, no. I think it is a Filene's basement. No, it must not.
I think
be
Filene's
anymore.
basement is 100% gone.
Then it must.
I can't remember what happened
to
with
Filene's.
Filene's
Now, actually, a Filene's
gone.
basement. It was a Filene's basement, I think, when we were in high school. It turned into it's a TJ Maxx now. That's what it is.
That makes more sense.
But the innards of that mall are like, I don't know.
Look, it's tough to compete in this market now. What with the internet and Targets and WalMarts and those whatever Linfield thing is.
Yeah, malls have transitioned into those outdoor malls like Linfield Marketplace, but even that is like, I have no interest in going to fucking Linfield Marketplace. The fuck? Why do I want to go to shops that I don't want to shop at, and B, I don't know. I'm outside. I have to walk through fucking parking lots. Like, it's not what I want to do. I don't mind being outside, but everything's just a big parking lot that you're walking around. There's no atmosphere. There's no rules.
There's no stores at Linfield Marketplace that I would even care to go to.
Yeah, those are not stores for me. Those are stores for
old people. Old rich people.
But we are old people.
Nah, I think they're
old
just
rich people.
They're just stores for white women. That's what it is. It's just stores for white women.
Well, that's the market. What does it have to do with the movie Mallrats?
Malls.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. We should find the thread here. Is there anything else to talk about with Mallrats? Obviously, this being the movie that comes after Clerks, Jay and Silent Bob are a big part of this universe. This is where they become way more fleshed out. Are all the slang and things that they say, is that like unique to this movie? Like that, like snoogans and all that shit is like these characters created these words?
Yeah, I think that's
Snoochie
in more movies. Yeah, I think that's in more movies, right? Yeah.
Oh, like this is not created by them.
I don't know.
No idea.
I feel like Snoochie Boochies is like a thing, but like I think it's a thing because of them.
Yeah, I think it's because of them.
$15, little man. Put that shit.
We're not that far yet, Mike.
Yeah, what the fuck, Mike?
You owe me, your jungle love.
That's from Jay and Silent Bob, correct?
Yeah.
I think it's actually, I'd have to double check. I wonder if I can play it now. I feel like if you again sit through the credits of Mallrats, they might sing it at the very end.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't sit through the credits of either of these films. I don't sit through credits, I guess, unless it's a fucking
I'm
Marvel
Brenden.
movie.
I've got places to be. I got a fucking boop, 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 boop.
But yeah, I don't know. It's a fine film. It just makes me want to watch more. Makes me want to get to Dogma, which I already said. I think it's just
I brought up to Mike the other day that Jay and Silent Bob are essentially the Viewers universe's version of The Watcher.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
So
so far
keeps
you're not
showing
right.
up in movies.
You're not wrong.
Stanley keeps showing up in movies, and like we see him in, I don't remember which one, like reporting back to the other Watchers. Like they're essentially like they're always there, like always like interacting with the lead character.
Yeah, I mean, based on like Kevin Smith's propension for comic books, I wouldn't be surprised if those characters are, the idea of them are based around an idea like that, where it's like they are the constant of that universe. Because I'm assuming it's this, like they're the same version in every film. Like they're not like a different, like it is just them.
They're always Jay and Silent Bob.
Yeah. Do the when other things get referenced in other movies, and again, if this is like too spoilery for me, don't say it. But are they the ones that make the references? Where it's like, oh, fucking Ben Affleck's here, but he's not playing this guy. That guy likes butts. Like, are they the ones making the the point outs to the audience, or no?
I mean, they're not breaking the fourth wall to do it.
Okay. Because they would be the
Oh,
only
gee,
people with the
Will, what-
knowledge. They would be the only ones that know of.
Although they did break the Affleck was the bomb and Phantom Joe is a fourth wall break, right?
Yeah, and it was yeah. I would say so.
There
I
is
mean,
some part of
so-
that conversation where they look at the camera.
I
Oh
mean,
no, that
yes,
was
sorry.
who the
I
fuck
mean,
you're right.
you don't even
went
need
through
to.
a Jay and Silent Bob movie. Was the
Yeah, I don't think you need to look at the camera though to break the fourth wall.
no.
I would also argue the Brenda line as a fourth wall break.
I would consider it more of a meta thing as opposed to a wall break.
Okay.
Yeah. I feel like a wall break requires the like actual break of the fourth wall. Like they look at the camera and interact with the viewer, thus breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah,
But I know because I feel like again
Because
I feel like
because if
when
if they're
Deadpool is talking to you,
If they're just
that's
interacting with
wall
each other, then the wall still exists. It's just like a meta line.
well,
Once they like turn and like look at the viewer, now there's no wall. It's just he is speaking with.
but again, like the
breaking the
Brenda comment is a thing that can only mean something to the viewer. It can't mean anything to that character. I mean, it could if there's also just another person named Brenda that's like, oh, that person sucks. Like, I called you Brenda. I don't know. I mean, what is the actual definition of fourth wall? Let's see what. This doesn't have an actual definition. Come on now. Well, the definition of just what the fourth wall is like not helpful, but it's what we've been saying. It's just an imaginary wall that separates the viewer from.
Right. And
Yeah.
thus breaking the fourth wall would be talking to the viewer. I think everything else would just be like a in or out of universe, like meta line.
Like, yeah, okay, all right, that's fair. Trying to think of another non-Deadpool example.
She-Hulk.
She-Hulk,
okay,
She-Hulk is another character
yeah.
that breaks the fourth wall.
Zach Morris, and
Okay,
Saved by the
yes,
Bell.
Does it
okay,
every episode.
Yeah, timeout.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what else? What else we got for Mallrats? I feel like we talked more about Clerks than Mallrats. I just feel like that's saying something about Mallrats, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's saying there's nothing to say. It's a great film, start to finish. What else is there to add? What are we bringing to the table?
Is it a great film, start to finish? I thought we
I don't
all
know.
were in
I just
agreement that we
think-
didn't really care for the romantic plot.
Yeah. Listen, I'm
You
just
need
saying
that.
things. I'm not.
That's just there for the people that like need something like that, you know?
I was
They
confused
need
why.
a plot.
Yeah, that's true. I was confused why the head fucking security guard wore that hat.
LaForce?
Yeah, LaForce. Why did he have that hat?
Because it's stylish.
He also
He's a
never
mall
said a
cop, dude.
word, correct?
He did not say
Yeah,
a word.
no,
I
no,
was
no.
also very confused by that.
He was the
I
true
think he was
Silent
like,
Bob.
yeah, I think the idea behind him is like he's like the anti-Silent Bob.
Oh, okay. I was waiting for the whole time, because Bob's starts this movie off when he shows up trying to use the Force, and that guy being called La Force. I was waiting for there to be a joke there. Maybe there is a joke, and I'm just not picking it up. But I was waiting for there to be a more direct joke through that, and there wasn't.
There wasn't, unless there was something cut in the director's cut,
Maybe.
but I don't think so.
Yeah, they are super. Like it's not them in the film that's super goofy. It's like the stuff that they do is super goofy. Like it's like being able to outrun everything like very easily and quickly. It's like I don't like. Sure, I like. I'm not saying you can't outrun them, but like also
For Bob to
what's going on
crash
here?
through 2 separate walls.
Yes, and for it to result in really nothing other than just like he's bashing through the wall and sees her naked twice.
Yeah.
I also was confused too because she's acted like she didn't know him, but she does know who he is, right? Or does she not know who Jay and Silent Bob are?
I don't remember if she ever like directly said.
No, why? There's no reason for her to know who they are. TS doesn't know who they are at the beginning of the movie.
Oh,
true.
okay, all right, then I guess that's fair. Yeah.
Brody knows who they are because Brody's always at the mall.
There it is. Okay.
But they're not always at the mall. They're always outside the Quick Mart. So
You know, they split their time evenly.
they're the Watcher. They just exist. It's also even more confusing because they're in the mall this whole film, except that we know that at some point during the movie they need to be outside the Quick Mart. Because, like you said, they went to the funeral for that girl.
Yes. Well, I'm trying to remember because it was the funeral, which means
Right.
she must have been dead for a couple days, maybe. I don't know how quick the turnaround is for funerals.
Couple days.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So like,
but they were outside the Quick Mart the entirety of Clerks.
Yeah. So like, let's say hypothetically, actually, I forget when. Okay, there is a sticking point because I forget when TS had spoken to her that got it in her head to make her go swimming. So like, hypothetically, that conversation could have happened a week ago. She went swimming the next day, dies, funeral happens, but
You're
the
saying
show
the end of
scheduled...
Clerks happens and Jay and Silent Bob move right to the mall, like with the viewer.
I feel like that timeline maybe doesn't make sense though too, because why would TS not know if it happened with a bigger gap in between? How would he not know right away?
Yeah, I don't know. What I was saying was that the funeral could have happened a few days ago, but the show that she was supposed to be on was like, a few days after. So like the funeral happened, let's say Thursday, and the show was scheduled to be occurring on Saturday.
Okay.
But that depends on when that conversation TS had with her occurred.
I mean, we also talked about how the entirety of Clerks is a day. And we didn't talk about it, but the entirety of Mallrats is also a day.
Oh.
So.
Yeah, so Jay and Silent Bob could have just had a busy week.
Yeah. Is that a theme that pops up more often in his films, that they just take place in a day?
No.
Dogma definitely didn't happen over a day.
Chasing Amy doesn't either.
Jay and Silent Bob, they literally go across the country.
And I forget
in a day.
How close
in one day.
I forget
Clerks
what happened.
2 can't exist inside a day.
All right.
We're taking it back.
Okay.
That's true.
I'm trying to think what else. So I'm
saying my grandma's racist?
I'm looking at this. There were plans for a sequel film titled Mallrats.
Philippines is that one. Yes.
In March 2015, but it wasn't picked up by anybody, so it was canceled. Or just never made.
With Kevin Smith's daughter. Yeah.
Okay.
Was it
Johnny Depp's
daughter too? Yeah.
I think so.
They were trying to start a whole universe with those two.
And then in January 2020, Smith revealed that they are developing a sequel called Twilight of the Mallrats. Did we know this? Did you know this?
Did you hear this?
About this?
Oh no, they were supposed to. They were making a sequel, and I think Affleck was the only person they didn't have signed on. But I don't know if that was like a couple years ago.
Affleck and Kevin Smith are good again. He came back for.
Did they fall out? Did they have a fallout?
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably from Jersey Girl.
I could have sworn something more recent than that.
With the fallout?
Yeah.
I thought it had something to do with his drinking.
Yeah, I mean, it would have happened after Dogma at the bare minimum.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He came back for was it Clerks 3 or Reboot maybe?
I didn't see Clerks 3, so I cannot tell you.
Did you see Reboot?
I also don't think I Reboot. I don't think I watched it either.
Oh man, Reboot has no right being as good as it.
According to this Wikipedia page for Mallrats, the extended version has a total of 100 differences between the theatrical release. In the you all are in agreement the extended version is worse. It's a worse movie.
That is my
don't know that I've
understanding.
ever seen it, but that's everything that I remember.
Gotcha.
Yeah, there's 100 differences. A lot of it stems from the fact that, again, fundamentally, there's a different dynamic at play with TS and the girl's father.
Okay. Anything else anyone wants to talk about before we wrap things up? Because we're running long, and I feel like not saying much more else on the film, really.
He is in Reboot and Clerks 3.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Is he in Clerks too?
Not that I recall.
I don't think there's any reason for Ben Affleck to be in Clerks 2.
Gotcha.
Oh, he is. He does. He makes a cameo.
I am sort of remembering it. I feel like I remember him walking into the store.
Interesting. If we don't have anything else to say about the film, I do want to end on one thing. If no one else has anything they want to say about Mallrats.
Go for it.
Dom's noodling. I don't know if you got something. No.
I don't think I have it.
So the last thing we can talk about, and then we can wrap things up, is the end sequence, which is like and this is where they end up fucking real. Do any of those things come into play in the future? Like fucking Brody host the Tonight Show.
I love it. I love it.
What were the other ones? Brody hosts Tonight Show. The other two get married, but you said that they don't show up again, right?
I do not remember either one of them showing up.
No, they're never in anything. At least that I know of.
I meant to ask you, does that they're not actually on the Jaws ride, right? That's not like at Universal, is it? When they show that scene?
I would think that it is.
Okay. I was curious because I mean it is a Universal movie, and they do talk about going to Universal Studios, obviously at the beginning and in that scene.
Yeah.
So there was that. There was Ben Affleck's character, which they don't show him. They just show like a guy's hand go over his hand. Who else would they? Oh, they must do Jay and Silent Bob. What do they show for them? I forget.
They had the monkey. They had the monkey.
Oh yeah, the monkey. Yeah. I don't know what any of that means. Jen said it has to do with Jay and Silent Bob. So
that's the plot of Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Okay, gotcha.
Or not. That's the plot, but
it's part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It was a good film. I keep saying it. I just want to watch more of them now. So, where do his films fit for all of you? Like, what do you have a personal favorite? Is it one of these or is it a different one?
So I feel like Dogma was the first film of his that I've seen, and it ranks highly for me in that regard. After that, I kind of also want to give special mention to Clerks 2, if only because that's like one of the earliest films I remember like laughing super hard at.
It's such a different
in theaters.
Tonally, it's so different.
Tonally, it's very different.
It's like super raunchy. Like it's
like, let's see how much we can get away with nowadays.
Right. Yeah. And my personal, like, I haven't seen Chasing Amy in years, so I don't know if that would be my favorite. That used to be my favorite. Followed by like Mallrats, Dogma. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I pretty much like them all, but Chasing Amy and Mallrats might be like I'd have to watch Chasing Amy again recently because it's been a while.
He has my favorite Silent Bob quote.
What's that?
Chasing Amy has my favorite Silent Bob like speaking role.
Oh yes, that scene's so good. See, I forget so much of Chasing Amy that like it's been a while. I just remember the beginning when he's like, "Oh, so you're a tracer." when he's talking about like what he does for comic books.
I think Strike Back might be my favorite, just because
it's a great movie. It's so ridiculous.
It's so ridiculous.
It's like prime Will Ferrell too. It's like peak when Will Ferrell was like.
It's like much more like a straight comedy.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
100%.
I didn't know Will Ferrell was in it. Even though.
Wait, you've never seen it?
I thought that was kind of the impetus for us doing this, was that I don't think I've actually watched a Kevin Smith movie.
Oh, I thought you watched that one though, because that one's kind of like that one you can take out of the universe, and that movie.
So
like,
I think I may have seen parts of Jay and Silent Bob at some point, but if I did, it would have been like on Comedy Central or something. Probably not the whole movie, and don't remember anything about it. After we watched Mallrats, I definitely remembered like the plot of trying to destroy the stage. So I must have seen, again, either clips of this or it running on Comedy Central at some point a long time ago, but I didn't remember anything else about the movie.
I definitely didn't watch the movie. That part.
I'm trying to think. When you said Tracer, is someone's character does line work?
Yeah.
I must have seen like that specific clip on TV at one point, because I've definitely never watched that movie. I don't think, at least. I don't know why I would have. Unless Jen made me watch it at some point, but even then, if she did, that would have been like 10 years ago. So I don't remember the movie if I did watch it. So yeah, and it's the same thing with Dogma. I've seen clips of Dogma on Comedy Central at some point, but again, that would have been when we were in high school. Right? I'm assuming Dogma's like 97. It's 99. It's probably before 2000.
Dogma's like 99.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, I think it's 99.
99 sounds right.
Cool. All right. Well, like I said, I'm not going to be mad if other people pick movies from him. I don't think we need to put like a full court press on making that a thing. I'm not going to make it my future picks like necessarily. Doesn't mean I won't pick them, but I do plan on watching some more of these films because, I am curious to see where it goes. And I do sort of like, I don't know if it gets like more entangled in the future, but I do sort of like the thing of this stuff kind of exists in a similar universe with similar characters, but it's not like, it's not the MCU. It's not like we're doing this thing to build this thing. It's like, there's just some mention and familiarity that I do appreciate stuff like that. Cool. All right. Well, before we wrap things up, as we do with every episode, we end with the game. The way this works when it's a movie episode is we play the movie game. So as I find the leaderboard for the year so far, I'll quickly just say thank you so much for listening to this week's episode 478. If you're a friend of the show, fan of the show, want to support the show, tons of ways to do that. Easiest way, freest way, leave us a quick 5-star review wherever you listen to the show, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Leave us that review. It is super helpful in helping us continue to grow the show. If you want to support us in other ways or see everything that we do, you can go to our website at passthecontroller.io and you can get linked out to everything there. Written content, drink recipes, videos, anything is going to be linked out from there, so you can find everything we do over there. The leaderboard, as it stands for the year, is Dom still in first with 37, Todd in second with 31, Mike in third with 21 points. Will we see some shakeups on the board tonight? Only one way to find out. The way the movie game works is I'm going to pick 3 films. We are going to I'm going to reveal different clues about the movie until someone can correctly guess the film. And we are going to start with movie number 1. This 2000 rated R film clocks in at 2 hours and 2 minutes. Rotten Tomatoes has this at a 91% tomato meter and 92% popcorn meter. Rotten Tomatoes says you might also enjoy The Commitments, Inside Llewyn Davis, Mrs. Henderson Presents, American Beauty, and Lords of Chaos.
Brother, where art thou?
Incorrect. This is a movie that I've seen.
Oh wow, that actually narrows it down a lot.
With a budget, according to Box Office Mojo, of $60 million, this film took in worldwide just over $47 million.
Wait, did you say 60 or 16?
60.
Okay.
It took 47 mil. 47 milli.
Took in just over $47 million.
Liked it.
But critics and fans alike both enjoyed this film.
Rated R.
7.
Let's keep on going down the clue hole. This film has 103 nominations for awards, including 54 wins, and it was... Whoops. That's the wrong thing I wanted to click on.
Meet the Parents.
Incorrect.
That's not rated R.
Also, do you think Meet the Parents has... Oh, I guess you didn't let me finish. I was going to say, including 4 Oscar nominations in 1 win. So you had said that before, and in my head I was like, why the fuck would you think Meet the Parents has Oscar nominations? It has a nomination for Best Film Editing, a nomination for Best Actress in a Supporting Role, a nomination for Best Actress in a Supporting Role, and a win for Best Writing Screenplay written directly for the screen by one Cameron Crowe.
Oh, it's Almost Famous.
Bingo. It is Almost Famous. Dom gets the first point.
I always confuse Cameron Crowe and John Hughes. I don't know why. They're like nowhere even similar.
Movie number 2. This 2001 rated R film clocks in at 2 hours and 16 minutes.
What year is it?
2001.
You know, I've never seen Almost Famous. Also.
You should see that movie. According to Box Office Mojo, with a budget of $68 million, this film took in just over $203 million.
You didn't do Rotten Tomatoes, right?
Not yet. I'll go there now.
Okay.
Let's check it out.
Did you do rating too?
Rated R.
Rated
Rated
R.
R.
Sorry, I can't hear.
With our friends over at Rotten Tomatoes has this at a tomato meter of 42% and a popcorn meter of 72%. Rotten Tomatoes says you might also like Twilight, Open Your Eyes, Changing Lanes, Unfaithful, and The General's Daughter.
Oh,
It's not Geely, right?
Incorrect.
no, that doesn't make any money.
I had to get it out there.
Yeah, I hear you.
Come on.
Because I kind of feel like I know where he's going, but Changing Lanes is a great movie too. But
This film has 34 award nominations and 5 wins, including
Definitely not Geely.
including 1
Could be all
Oscar
Razzies.
nomination.
Not an Oscar.
Oscar nomination for Best Music Original Song from a very well-known musician. Extremely
Pearl Harbor, is it?
well-known. That is still alive. What'd you say, Todd?
it's not Pearl Harbor.
Incorrect.
What'd you say, Todd? Uh-oh.
Pearl Harbor. Wait,
Is
that's
it
not
Pearl
rated R.
Harbor?
That's PG-13. Never mind.
Very well-known musician who is still alive, but some of their bandmates deceased.
Shit. I was going to say
Anyone?
Is it Die Another Day?
Incorrect.
Not rated R.
Hustle and Flow.
Live and Let Die?
Incorrect.
Those are all PG-13.
You say Hustle and
yeah.
Flow, Mike, and I'll say incorrect.
I did.
Okay. The name of the song is the name of the movie.
So, name
2001.
It is a song from Mr. Sir Paul McCartney. I panicked when I said some bandmate. Is George Harrison alive? I don't know.
No, dead.
Okay, that's
It's just Paul and Ringo at this point.
Yeah,
The best Beatles dead.
I obviously I knew.
I don't know where Pete
Ringo
Best
was
is.
alive. I don't know. I didn't know about George Harrison. Is he a recent death or?
No, he's been
George
dead for a
Harrison
while.
died like 97.
Oh, why did I think he was still alive? Let's see. According to
The rated R's from you.
you're Mr. Oh, you never pick rated R movies. I got back-to-back rated R's. Double R, Rough Riders. Where you at, Todd? Let's see. This film has people in it. According to IMDb, this is the third billed actress who you may recognize from such things, according to IMDb, as this film, Charlie's Angels.
Oh, it's Vanilla Sky.
It is Vanilla Sky.
There was a song called Vanilla Sky, and
Apparently.
it kept popping in my head.
The through line.
And I was like, I don't know what the song is.
Wait a second. What was the first movie?
The first movie
I already
was
Oh, Brody's in that.
Oh,
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot he's in that. Isn't he the lead singer in that? The band? I can't remember what he is in
No,
that.
I don't think he is. I think he's a much smaller role in the movie. Or I don't think he's... I don't know what his role is, but he's not the lead singer.
Number 3.
I am changing...
Oh, I finally figure out the fucking through line one time, and you have changes.
Okay, fine.
No, I'm fucking.
Movie number 3, 2004, PG, hour 55.
Alvin and Chipmunks.
Incorrect. Suck my fucking
Alvin and
dick.
Chipmunks. The Squeakquel.
Incorrect.
Alvin and Chipmunks. The Squeakquel.
It's not an Alvin movie.
Alvin and the Chipmunks.
It's not an Alvin movie.
Live Another Day.
Chipwrecked.
It's not an Alvin movie.
Underdog.
Incorrect.
Underdog.
Oh, isn't he in that movie? I thought he.
Yes,
Yeah.
we talked about it on
He's
the
the best
podcast.
of-
That's why
I
I
did.
pick it.
We did.
Our friends over at Rotten Tomatoes have this at a 97% tomato meter and a 75% popcorn meter. We're going to come back to that one that I normally do. We're going to do a different one instead. Box office. According to Box Office Mojo, with a budget of $92 million dues, this film took in worldwide just over, we'll just call it $631.5 million.
What year was this again?
2004.
Spy Kids 3D.
Incorrect. You think that movie pulled in those numbers?
I have no idea. Those movies did well for a while. I don't know how well, but they were like.
Well, while you guys are noodling, I am gonna just pull up Spy Kids 3D and see if it did anywhere.
3D is probably like the worst.
There's a lot of famous
$500
people in that
million. You want Spy Kids 3? Game over.
Yeah, that was the 3D one, I think.
I mean, okay, it did okay, especially its budget considering $38 million. It pulled in just shy of $200 million.
You said this was 680 million. 2000.
630, right?
Yeah, it was like 630. I already closed out of that window. We're not going back.
I'm pretty sure it was
2004.
2004.
Oh.
This film
Oh.
has 56 nominations and 69 wins.
Wait, is it Incredibles?
It is indeed the.
I was just going to say, did you give us a rating?
It's Syndrome.
I
He
did.
said PG, and as soon as he said,
I
I was like, oh, I was trying to do the math. I was like, all right, what was the Pixar movie that came out that year? And I completely forgot it was Syndrome.
I'm surprised that you guys took so long to name a Pixar movie. That's
what's
why I
fucking
didn't do.
I was
more
trying to remember
like-
what year it was.
That's why I didn't do more like this, because they were all
Pixar films.
yeah, for the most part. Or just they were all animated films, and I feel like it would have immediately.
I was confusing the two. What's the movie with Brad Pitt when he's like in Megamind? And I was thinking of the bad guy of what's it called? The one we just said.
Oh,
And
Syndrome.
I was thinking Syndrome was played by Jonah Hill, and I'm like, it was confusing myself. But then I'm like, wait a second.
They both have red hair. I get it.
Wait, Jonah Hill isn't Megamind Will Ferrell?
Yeah, isn't Will Ferrell?
It's Will Ferrell. Jonah
It's
Hill's
Will
like
Ferrell. He
yeah,
ends
Will-
up being the antagonist of the film. At spoilers towards the end of the film.
Yeah,
he was
sorry,
like,
guys. Sorry for ruining the
he's
movie.
Tina Fey's reporter, and Jonah Hill is like her cameraman.
Camera guy.
And
Yeah.
at some point, he also gets superpowers and then becomes like a villain. That's why Will Ferrell has to save her.
All right. Well, that'll end the week with Todd picking up 2 points, Dom picking up 1. Dom still in first, 38. Todd in second with 33. Mike is still sitting trailing in third with 21 points. I think we're due for a game show episode soon. I think we're due. It's middle of the year.
Yeah, whatever.
We could get some points on the board. But we appreciate you. Thanks so much for listening to this week's episode 476, and we will see you next time.